right, well, thanks for joining me again. My name's Tim. Welcome or welcome back. Got another Fallout video for you today, and today I want to talk about, real briefly, 3 really cool theories that I'm seeing leading up to season 2 of the Fallout TV show. I'm not sure if I'm going to use sweet or rad or really cool in the thumbnail. Probably whatever formats and fits best. But a couple really exciting ones that I've been seeing lately, and several of them are they're pretty interesting, and they're not all super likely. But let's go with the most likely first, and that one involves Thaddeus and being a super mutant instead of a ghoul. I am thinking this is very likely, and I can't give credit to who came up with it first because it seems like it was just spilling all over the internet. But it seems very, very likely. The Forced Evolutionary Virus, or FEV, is a known MacGuffin in the Fallout universe. It is what created a majority of the altered life forms you see. As far as I know, the FEV was not involved in the ghoulification process, but it was, or it is generally portrayed as an aerosol. Or I guess I've seen it injected, I think, in some of the games, but I'm not certain on that. I think we are likely to see Thaddeus again, probably showing up out of nowhere to rescue ideally Maximus and Dane while they're on an expedition to New Vegas. He's going to be greener and bigger and as funny as in season 1, and I very, very much look forward to it. He could also possibly provide them some sort of in with a super mutant community late in season 2 or possibly in season 3. I could see the misunderstandings in a super mutant community with Thaddeus having no concept of how their species works, having been newly turned into one. So that's one that I think is pretty likely. It seems very unlikely that he's a ghoul. Glowing ones, the severely irradiated ghouls do regenerate, as I recall in the games, but it doesn't. It's never been a standard ability that all ghouls have. Certainly not brand newly created ones. And the lore that I know of is that ghoulification is almost, if not entirely, radiation based. So I just don't see that as a possibility. Moving on to something that I think is somewhat likely, but still very cool, and I hope that they do it. And that involves the ghoul, everybody's favorite sociopath, Sweetie Pie, and him being special. I don't think that he is exactly a ghoul like the Ferals or the other slowly wasting away and losing their minds ghouls. Even when he's blacking out in front of the Super Duper Mart because he runs out of his meds, he's not losing his mind. He's not going feral. I don't think he's a super mutant either, because he doesn't fit the look or the vibe or the feel. But I do think he's somewhere in between. I think he is uniquely himself. I think he is the Coop. I think he was midway through the ghoulification process and an attempt was made to halt it with FEV, and this is what we have. I think he is continuing to take the FEV to keep his body from falling apart and to stay strong, and as a form of addiction rather than as keeping the ghoulification process from taking over and him going feral. I first saw this on a channel that goes by Lindsay's Fallout. Very cool gal. She had a relatively long form video that went semi-viral about whether or not the ghoul was being conned, involving the medication that he was taking. It is definitely worth checking out. She seems like good people. We do not know each other personally. But that's where I first noticed that one, so I can give a little bit of credit there. But yeah, the ghoul is something new and something special. Not just a ghoul. And certainly not a super mutant either. But something in between. And I'm excited to see more of his story next season. The third one that seems the most unlikely, but also the one that would have the largest overall ramifications to the world, to the Western United States anyway, is the theory that I've seen going around, and again, I can't give credit to this one because it popped up all over, that Caesar's Legion from New Vegas and the Western chapter or Western group, or however you want to put it, of the Brotherhood merged or were integrated into each other, or one took over the other. It's hard to say for sure. And the biggest bit of evidence that we're seeing so far, besides them being similarly placed and Caesar's Legion not being mentioned at all in the show, despite it taking place, I think, 15 years after New Vegas, there would definitely be remnants, regardless of which ending you chose. Some small bit, at least, of Caesar's Legion would be left. So besides that, it's mostly based on the fact that Brotherhood names, Knight Titus, Squire Maximus, Aspirant Dane, what were some of the other ones? Titus, Maximus, Thaddeus. They're all Roman, Greek, ancient style names. And I think it's cool, and I think that given the credit sequence of season 1, I think there's a chance that they could, through flashbacks, show, was it Elder Maxim? The Elder, the one that hates Maximus but is willing to use him. Maybe it could show him abandoning or surviving the Hoover Dam battle and infiltrating and taking over the Brotherhood on the West Coast. I don't know. It seems unlikely and it seems far-fetched, but it also seems really, really cool. So anyway, those were 3 of the coolest or sweetest or most rad or heckin' awesome theories that I've seen floating around about characters and groups going into season 2 of Fallout, and I wanted to share them with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Again, my name's Tim, and I hope to see you again sometime.